Hello and welcome. This is your first time tuning into the channel. I am going to be streaming this Factorio run with the Pyanodons mod to Twitch under the username WillCole, and I'll be uploading the local recording to YouTube under the username WillCole100. In addition to the local recording of the stream, I'm going to do an edited sort of time-lapse of all the builds. That'll be edited a little bit, and it'll be partially to make it 5x. We're going to make it 5 times as fast. Obviously, replace the audio of doing it 5 times as fast. It's going to be editing out the bits where I'm taking breaks and stuff like that. Because the factory is still going to be running during those periods, but I'm not going to be streaming for hours and hours and hours on end with absolutely no breaks. So that's the plan as far as recording is going. Oh, and I'm going to do effectively build reviews as we complete various components of the build here. Which will also be edited. So let's get into Planet Gen. As you saw on the first page there, I do have played the mod. 62 saves with the mod, and that got us to the second science, into the second science. Basically, where our first to-do list is going to go. If you're watching this right now, both on Twitch and probably on YouTube, I have a list of what I believe the current mod list is. So it's the Pyanodons mod pack and all its dependencies. Enable feature flags, CyberSim, elevated rails, milestone, not enough parameters, Factorio charts, Factorio library, Factorio planner, recipe book. Quality is on, but I'm probably not planning on using it. There's some indications that it's, at least as far as modules are concerned, is probably overpowered. For some of the buildings, it might not be overpowered, but it's not properly balanced yet. But I have it on because it's a vanilla thing, and I can turn the vanilla mods off. We're going bright universe, so the universe stays bright while we're doing the recording. Although I haven't messed with the settings, so I might need to fix the settings on that. And then we've added to-do list. I'm going to make a to-do list as we get started here, so I remember what I need to craft production chains for. There's also some mods that we might add later, but are not being added at the beginning, honestly, because I don't think we need them at the beginning. Things like bottleneck light, Factorio search, insert or throughput. Those sort of stuffs help with identifying where bottlenecks exist. And at the beginning of the game, when we're going full spaghetti, the answer to where the bottleneck exists is everywhere. So that's not going to be a concern. But those may get added in. I'll try to remember to do sort of a pop-up like this when we get in that far. So let me put the mod list away. And Twitch chat's leaving a comment. Hey, Will, wow, so early today. Audio on your voice seems a bit high, at least higher than normal. Let me see if I can adjust that. I don't know how much that helped. I just adjusted the nomic position. I might be trying to speak a little bit louder today, because I am excited instead of trying to be a bit quiet. Yeah, we're going to do... we're starting earlier today because I'm going to be effectively doing 2 streams today. We're going to do an earlier one until the family gets back. And then we'll be doing a second one after dinner. But because we're waiting for someone to travel from a different state, the second one's going to be starting late. So we got an early start and we got a late start, effectively, today. Pyanodons here. We're going to start up a new game. We're going to start up and of course, free play. Not recommended for Pyanodons mods, obviously, so for the recommended settings. I'm not going to change any settings here. It's all basic settings. The one thing we are going to roll is I'm going to look at the preview, both so that you can see the seed, if you want to, say, play along, and so that I can make sure, at least in the starting area, we don't have overlap on the sort of starting resources. And we have a healthy amount of starting resources. Looking in the middle here. I could probably actually do with a little bit better zoom on the thing here. Quick glance, iron, copper. Coal's maybe a bit far away on that one. Oh, that's too close together. So we're looking basically for the 4 basic resources we're going to be interacting with right at the beginning here. Coal, iron, copper, and stone to be reasonably close together and ideally not touching. Will both streams today be Factorio? Yes, that is the plan. Guessing so, since you were excited about it. I'm not sure if you had other plans. Yeah, the plan is to do 2 Factorio streams today. Effectively, the midstream break is going to be longer than usual. Well, with no biters on here, it's a little bit harder to tell what's supposed to be in the starting area and what's not. I think this clump in the lake here is supposed to be the starting area if I'm making an educated guess. Oh, the Pyanodons is really trying to make them overlap, which I'm trying to avoid. Global rerolls. Okay, I think that will work. So if I'm reading this right, we've got copper, stone. There's a little bit of space in between them. Iron and coal, so that should work. And we're playing Pyanodons Mod, so ignore the confirmation here. We're not doing any mods or not doing any achievements on this run. Yeah, as it's saying, the quality mod here is unbalanced, and I have it installed just because it's a default vanilla mod. Okay, so now that we're in, we can actually see the ore patches. So we've got aluminum. Okay, that's aluminum, not coal, or not stone, but I can work with that. Tin, iron, coal, a little bit of native flora. Actually, the concern we're going to have early on here is actually the shortage of stone. I'll have to harvest it from the environment. That'll be fine. So, I suppose actually here's a good time to show off the to-do list. We're going to make a to-do list of things that I want to do here early in the run here. So first we're going to say we're going to do some bootstrapping. So bootstrap. So I want like 8 coal, 3 iron, 1 copper, and like 2 stone. The stone's actually going to be the hard one because I'm going to have to go find the stone for our initial sort of startup here. I suppose I should really put that in the title if I'm going to do that. See how that works. Yeah, that works reasonably well. We're then going to want, once we've got that done, we're going to want to do spaghetti inserters. Spaghetti belts. Probably the way around. Probably want to do the belts before the inserters. Spaghetti mines. And then spaghetti research. So the tier 1 research. At which point we're going to move into sort of trying to do spaghetti circuits. And then research tier 2, or research electrical mines, which is going to require us to get sort of a spaghetti tier 2 research. Twitch saying, I'm curious if having a game that allows you to add a to-do list is a good or a bad thing. On one side, it allows you to give quests for yourself, and the other kind of feels like work. Other than being a checklist, does it add anything additional to the game? Like, do you get rewards? For the checklist, no. So the checklist is actually, I think from a mod perspective, the checklist is mostly in there so you can do it multiplayer. So if you're doing multiplayer, you can say, hey, this is the thing as a group we probably want to do. I'm doing this because this is a mod that is complicated enough that we can forget to do things and be like, did I do X? And then you might accidentally do duplication of things that you don't need duplication of. We're going to want a bus at some point. And then I suppose on the bus we're going to then start making the bus versions of everything. So bus, belts, bus, inserters. Just forgot to do spaghetti assemblers. So spag assemblers. I think for the moment that's enough of a to-do list. This is going to take more than the entire stream. Probably more than twice the first 2 streams. But we got a list of sort of things. I'm going to try to add to this list as we research stuff in the tech tree that we want to have the factory build. So initially here, the first tech in Pyanodons is actually researched by acquiring 10 iron plate. So that'll be pretty easy. The first science. The next science after that is acquire 10 copper plate. Again, fairly easily. At which point we then get to take a detour where we're actually going to start doing some science and try to get the assembly machines. So let's start bootstrapping. And if this is going to be where in I suppose in the edited YouTube recording where we're going to go into a time lapse, I'm going to start getting stuff going. Yeah, we got all the furnaces I think I need for the start here. Just need to get a few more drills going. We've unlocked steam power. I'm not getting anything to the to-do list here yet. Although eventually that'll have to go on the to-do list as well. Well, some of those things will be derivatives for stuff on the to-do list. For red science, I suppose we already have automation science on the to-do list. Should add the soil extractor and the processing unit to the to-do list. Let's do that. Oh, these are going to be handmade until we do the bus. So soil extract. Here's the automation science pack. The next thing we want to work on is probably the assembly machine, so that I am less dependent on manually building every last thing in the factory. It's going to be burner assemblers. There we go. So with that, we can check the done. Making sure the completed the tasks. So it pushes the completed ones to the bottom. Okay. We got the bootstrap done. I suppose for sort of build review, this is what the stone bootstrap's going to look like, and then we'll show... I suppose there'll be a jump cut here. We'll show the main base when we get back to the main base. And continuing with the build review, this is the final state of the iron bootstrap, the copper bootstrap, and our coal bootstrap. There's our first native flora, 42 minutes in. First burner assembler assembled. Good to know. Okay, I think it's time. Twitch chat saying nice. How long into the game? We're 3 hours into this stream, and this is actually the second stream. The first stream was only a little over like an hour, hour 15, so it's about two and a bit hours into the run. Is there a way I can check where we are in the game? I think there is. Vita Codex. Game things I've been playing for 4.5 hours. So with that, let's do a basic view review, build review. So we've gone ahead and I've made 4 effectively furnace stacks for iron that each make, well, basically the 4 of them to combine to turn 4 half belts into like 4/10 of a belt of iron. 4/10 of half a belt. Or, yeah, we're at a half a belt of iron here. Yeah, because we've got half. So half a belt times 4 is 2 full belts, and 4 full belts makes half a belt. So we've got half a belt of iron production. We have a fourth of that in copper. We have sort of a spaghetti assembler that assembles belts, a spaghetti assembler that assembles inserters, a spaghetti assembler that assembles assemblers. And while I'm thinking about it, let's that one. Set you to only grab non-ash. So we stop having ash end up in these chests. So we can get a little bit more in them without having to micro them as much. But yeah. For 4 hours in, this is a good start to the base. We're not going to be done for the night. We're going to keep going, but for the moment, we're going to let the base do its thing. I'm going to run out to the stone stockpile, the stone mine. We're going to go retrieve brick and stone from the mine, and the next phase will be setting up spaghetti. Oh, I suppose I should check off my tasks. So, spaghetti belts. Let's look at the spaghetti belts. Let's go close enough. We're gonna look at the spaghetti belts while I check off the thing off. So we got our spaghetti belts over there. So spaghetti belts. Check. Inserters. Check. Assemblers. Check. Entire belt of spaghetti. Somewhat. Then we want to do spaghetti mines, which means we arguably to not have to hand feed the spaghetti mines, we probably need to bring stone over. And then tier 1 spaghetti research, which needs brick. I think for the moment the transfer of stone and brick is probably going to be done by hand. But after I go pick up the stone and the brick, I'm going to build those spaghetti things so that at least they use the local copper and iron. So there'll be a chest where the stone and or brick needs to be delivered, is the plan. Oh, I have the inserter around the wrong way. It helps you put the inserter right way around. And our first automation science pack, not made by hand, rolls off the production line. At just under 5 hours. Okay, and that's progress. That is progress. Let's check our to-do list. Top of the list. Spaghetti mines. Yes, we actually did do the spaghetti mine. Burner mine is what I meant with that. That is there. I'm not covering it up. So we can click that as done, and then same thing with the Tier 1 research. We did actually finish that up. That is that section over there. Still got 13 things on the to-do list. Currently teching towards the circuits. Slowly teching towards the circuits. 6 hours, 16 minutes in, we have made steel plate. So it doesn't jam up the pump, so we don't jam up the coal gas line, so that the steel can be made, because we need the steel, you know, to make the mining drills that consumes the input required for the steel. There we go. First aluminum plate. 3 hours and 40 seconds. Or 3 hours and 40 minutes, not 40 seconds. That's the minute space. So in my to-do list, and these are going to go actually at the top, we're going to have... I'm going to end this at the top. Bag of glass. Come on. Hi, Mr. Verma. Yeah, probably hit cancel. Head top. Save. There we go. Let's bag glass and let's bag. Well, arguably have spag aluminum. We'll say check aluminum. As our reminders for next time. So next time we'll go check on our aluminum. That's probably something we want to expand, although that takes a little more steel. And we don't really want to expand steel production at the moment, so we're just going to be letting steel slowly come in. I might get enough so that we got some stuff under production in the manual queue, but... Grab some iron. And copper. So we get one of those under construction, and then if we got some more copper, I can get the fluid mining drill under construction. To use up the steel. So we've got a rough idea what those want to go to. So, this is going to be the last call for Twitch comments during the stream. I'm going to go ahead and bring the stream to a close. We're coming up here on 2 a.m. In my time. Just coming over 7 hours in the run itself. Technically 1.4% through the tech tree. We've placed 8,000 buildings, unlocked 71 recipes, produced 355 science, and produced almost 0.9 million items, of which only 0.7 million of them have been consumed. And we just finished in technology, ceramics. I'm not going to worry about ceramics. I don't think ceramics unlocked any buildings. Maybe it did. Oh, it did. Clay Pit Electronics Factory. I don't... No, I need to remember to put those on the queue. Let's put those on the to-do list. Bus, clay pit. This goes at the bottom of the queue. And then bus. Bus electro. Was it electro factory? Or did I just totally go off and blew with that? Yeah, close enough. Yeah, last call for comments. I think the stream is going, or I think the run has been going well. We can go ahead and actually just save at this point. This is stream 2 of the streams. If you're watching on YouTube, because I'm probably going to use this also as the outro for the YouTube video, I hope you have been enjoying. Obviously, as far as the planned Twitch schedule is going, let me go over the schedule. So today was Factorio modded with Pyanodons. Tomorrow, which is Tuesday, or supposed technically Tuesday is today because it's 2 a.m. in the morning, but tomorrow's stream, so next night's stream, is going to be Songs of Six. We're going to go back to being evil. We tried being good at the end of the last stream, and it didn't go particularly well. We're going to go back to being evil in Songs of Six as the Garmithi. Wednesday, we're going to be continuing our Old World run. At the current pace, I can imagine we might finish. But it'll be Old World on Wednesday. Thursday, we're going to be continuing the game we started on Sunday in Shadow Empire. And then we will be back to Factorio, this modded run in Factorio, on Friday. We'll see if I can make it a longer stream like this one was. It might only be 4 hours. It depends upon how things are going with the family. No, but that's the upcoming schedule over the next 4 days. The plan for Factorio at the moment is I'm going to release an unedited version of each of the streams as soon as I get it compressed and uploaded to YouTube. So if you're watching this on YouTube, this will be a lot earlier than everything else we just went on the schedule, besides the Factorio stuff. If you're watching this on Twitch, I'm going to try to get this uploaded and released, obviously, to YouTube before it comes down off of Twitch. In preparation for being out for 2 weeks over the upcoming month, I have recorded ahead. So I think YouTube is about 14 to 15 days behind, depending upon the series. Factorio is the one exception, where they're going to be closer, although they're going to get the unedited version of the stream. At some point, I'm going to take the time to edit and do basically a 5x sort of time lapse of building the base. Although it won't be a whole base, they'll be watching me at five times speed, and I'll edit out the bits where I'm not doing anything at all. But it'll be 5 times speed of the actual base being built. Obviously, there will be no commentary because I don't know how that would sound at 5x speed. And then there's been a couple places where I stopped and did sort of construction build review portions of bits of the base we finished. That will end up as a sort of a third, even shorter edited version. So that's what you should be expecting on YouTube. So if you've watched the entire stream, I hope you've enjoyed it, whether you're watching it live or watching it later on YouTube. I think this is probably going to be the edited end to the first sort of build review video. So you're probably still going to be hearing this if you're watching this on YouTube, if you're watching that video. But I hope everyone has been enjoying. Once again, sort of last call for comments if you're watching it live on Twitch. I am about to bring the stream to a close, and I hope everyone has been enjoying. And with that, I'm going to wish everyone the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part and or stream, and bye for now.